It's confirmed. You are a daddy.
Oh my God.
Oh, a month right after she left, Gypsy texted me a bunch of pregnancy tests and said she was pregnant. Okay, well, who's the father?
So she was talking to not only my girlfriend, but several other inmates, and she got caught. I don't know who reported her. It wasn't me. I am Zora. I am Amelia Rose, Gypsy's ex-best friend's girlfriend, and I am also an ex-best friend of Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Another one of Gypsy Rose Blanchard's ex-best friends is speaking out and spilling the tea, and this time it may lead to a parole violation. Zora, who goes by Lil Miss Lithium on TikTok, is Amelia Bird's girlfriend. Up until about a week ago, Zora and Gypsy were very close friends, with Zora even being a moderator for Gypsy when she goes live on TikTok.
Yes, I did know Gypsy. Me and my girlfriend were best friends with her. Was she cheating on Ryan with Ken? I know the first time Ken came to visit, she did have sex with him. Do you think anyone would actually hire her if she would try to get a job? There are people who hire felons, so I mean, yes. Now her and Christy are skimming together. I don't know, Christy definitely okay, so they're all using each other, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes that isn't talked about, and they all fight so much. Do you think Dee Dee's family is going to come after her money she's made from profiting off of this? I don't know. I do know they're mad at her. They won't talk to her because they're mad at her for killing Dee Dee, so they very well might. They can. They are mad at her for killing Dee Dee and profiting off of her. That's something that I have been told. That is fresh from the words of her family. We are not friends anymore. I've cut her off for lying, and after seeing the crime scene photos, have no intentions of forgiving her for lying.
Zora has reached out to several creators, including myself, spilling information about Gypsy's pregnancy, her relationship with her stepmom Krista, and how Gypsy was recently reported to her parole officer for remaining in contact with other inmates. If you don't know who Amelia Bird is, Amelia and Gypsy were incarcerated together, and Gypsy actually posted a video about Amelia Bird after her release from prison.
She was only 16 years old when she was arrested with her then boyfriend in connection with her crime. And with no other evidence stacked against her except for the testimony of the then boyfriend, Amelia is now serving 2 life sentences, run consecutive, at the Chillicothe Correctional Center for Women in Missouri.
Now, I personally haven't dug a whole lot into Amelia's story, but from what I have heard and according to Gypsy, when Amelia was just 16 years old, her boyfriend attempted to unalive Amelia's parents. Amelia's mother did pass, but her father survived. Both Amelia and her boyfriend were arrested, and the boyfriend was offered a deal to testify that Amelia had asked him to do this. Now, apparently, Amelia was also offered a plea deal, which was 2 life sentences run consecutively. But Amelia, being very young, ended up taking this plea deal. There are some organizations such as the Willow Project that are advocating for Amelia to get clemency, which was the purpose of Gypsy's video.
Unfortunately, since I am under parole supervision, I can't communicate with Amelia at this time. However, that doesn't make me any less her friend or advocate for her freedom any less. If you believe in her freedom and her cause, please write the Missouri governor on her behalf. And if you would like to communicate with Amelia herself, write her through Securus Technologies. I'll have all of that information below this video.
The friendship between Zora and Gypsy ended for several reasons, one of which seems to be related to Gypsy's meetup with Kim Kardashian. Gypsy was apparently telling everyone to watch the episode of the show because she was supposed to advocate for Amelia's release, considering Kim Kardashian's involvement in prison reform. However, when the episode finally aired, Gypsy mainly talked about herself, which upset both Zora and Amelia. Zora even commented on a clip from one of Gypsy's live streams where Gypsy was discussing Amelia and Kim Kardashian.
Explain all of this to Kim, and because Kim works a lot with the Innocence Project and other organizations that help look into people that have been convicted of crimes and they might be innocent. She helps with that kind of stuff, and so that was kind of like my last hope, to get help for my friend. So I mean, I'm hoping that behind the scenes Kim does stick to her word and work on Amelia's case.
Zora commented, "I'm Millie's girlfriend and she is innocent. However, she's no longer friends with Gypsy, and I'm not sure why Gypsy is still talking about her. Gypsy is a liar, and I wish she'd stop because it makes my girlfriend look bad. This isn't even an accurate telling of what happened in my girlfriend's case. Zora continued saying, all Gypsy does is lie. I met my girlfriend through Gypsy before we stopped speaking to her, and finally went no contact just a few days ago. We've noticed she's a compulsive liar, and all of her stories have gaps or they change. Now we want to know the truth. As an MVP survivor who was personally told different versions of her story from Gypsy herself, I don't even believe her mother, Didi, had MVP. Oddly enough, shortly after Zora started speaking out, Gypsy made a post on her Instagram with a photo of herself and Kim Kardashian. Zora and Amelia were wondering what had happened with Kim Kardashian, so Zora would often ask Gypsy about it. In a text exchange, Zora asked Gypsy, why did you unfollow me on everything? Gypsy replied, I still have you on Facebook, girly. Later, Zora asked, you ever talk to Kim? Gypsy responded, she hasn't DM'd me back yet. Zora mentioned, Millie's been trying to call. She's pretty upset. Gypsy replied, I know, I'll try and figure something out. According to Gypsy, she did speak to Kim Kardashian about Amelia, but they just didn't air it on the show. However, the timing seemed odd because after Zora asked about it, Gypsy blocked her. Now, let's get into Gypsy's recent parole violation. We learned through Zora that Gypsy had remained in contact with inmates still incarcerated, allegedly by using Ryan Anderson's account.
Secure's account was on Ryan's phone and in his name. So she was emailing inmates in his name but answering calls on her personal phone.
Gypsy has remained in contact with Amelia Bird and several other inmates. While we don't have the message receipts, we do have a text message from Gypsy stating, let Millie know I can't take prison calls anymore. I got a citation from my PO for it. It's a warning. Next one they send me back.
So she was talking to not only my girlfriend, but several other inmates. And she got caught. I don't know who reported her. It wasn't me.
Now, Zora also alleges that while Gypsy remained in contact with these other inmates, she sent them a picture of a positive pregnancy test back in April. If this is true and Gypsy was indeed pregnant, that would make the baby Ryan's. This is particularly interesting because in the season finale of Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup, Ryan Anderson tells producers that Gypsy sent him a picture of a positive pregnancy test the month before.
You know, a month right after she left, Gypsy texted me a bunch of pregnancy tests and said she was pregnant. Okay, well, who's the father? And it could have been me or Ken at that point. So she didn't know. She was like, I don't know. The previous month, she sent me pictures of pregnancy tests, but this time there's no pictures, no proof. And so, like, I don't know what to believe. Like, it's one of those, like, I don't believe it. I still don't. You know, it's hard for me to wrap my head around that. Like, secretly, Gypsy and me were trying to get pregnant. Gypsy always wanted to be pregnant.
So May rolls around and to everyone's surprise, Gypsy is sending another set of positive pregnancy tests. According to Zora, Gypsy basically said, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I didn't mention that I had started my period in April, so I wasn't really pregnant then. The photo of these positive pregnancy tests was sent on May 22nd, and just days later, Gypsy had her first prenatal appointment.
Okay, say it again. Tell her she's what? Say it again.
She's pregnant.
Now, Gypsy sent these videos to Zora because she wanted her to be able to share in the experience, and I believe they were even considering using these for the Lifetime show. Shortly after this, Christy calls Ken to tell him he's going to be a father instead of letting Gypsy deliver the news herself.
I can't. It's confirmed. You are a daddy.
Oh my god.
They're going to do an ultrasound next time.
The ultrasound will be next time.
It's confirmed for today.
Look at you.
Oh my god.
Get a white towel if you feel like you're gonna pass out.
You're gonna be okay.
No, I'm good.
It's-
I'm married to you.
To see it is, but to hear it be confirmed is.
Did you think I'm like a